Hey, how are we doing? How's it going? Welcome to my channel. Today, I will be covering an album that I very much wanted to cover, but just couldn't quite find the words to say. And since I am literally incapable of moving on from a subject until I have fully dissected it, I think it's about time to look at A Day to Remember's You're Welcome. Their return to the studio, the fueled by ramen pit of musical purgatory, to establish a new path forward as a band for the 2020s. Do they succeed? Do they reinvent themselves? Do they find a new found a sense of purpose? I believe the only way to truly dissect and look at this album is to compare it song versus song from their best-selling and most recognized album, Homesick. The one is just peak A Day to Remember. Will there be anything on You're Welcome that makes it onto our final playlist? I cannot say until we get started. So please join me as I look into A Day to Remember's You're Welcome. Let's kick it off with our first song. What was A Day to Remember's reputation at this time? Who were they in the scene? Now, some people may say they have already sold out. Prior to this album, A Day to Remember made heavy anti-dating, anti-hometown songs about being on the road, about singing with your friends, with a heavy breakdown, a heavy aggressive tone that picked it right up in the chorus, gave you something pretty to sing to, letting you know that there's a little emotion behind the band. And when I was in high school, they were probably the biggest scene Warped Tour band to be known in my high school. This came out my junior year, and you would see jocks, scene kids, punks, preppy girls, everyone wore A Day to Remember shirts. I mean, they had so much fucking merch to choose from. How could you not? Downfall of Us All lets you know that they're gonna be heavy, but you're gonna be able to sing every goddamn chorus. And of course, they're gonna be singing about themselves, how they perceive themselves, how others perceive them, and how people tell them that they are being perceived. We gotta talk about how hard it is being a band, how hard it is being one of the most popular Victory record bands in that record label's history. At some point, I feel like Jeremy should accept that he is in a successful band, instead of constantly being mystified, like, wow, I didn't think this would happen. Toughest, greatest band to ever exist, and they're gonna take over the music scene, baby. Weird contradiction in their music, I'll admit, being a cocky asshole and an insecure little kid. Sometimes it hits just perfectly when the emotion is just heightened enough to not get sappy, to not get over sentimental. I think they are at their best. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's just heavy enough without being obnoxious. There's not too much screaming in it. Let's see 12 years later how they choose to open You're Welcome. But Jeremy, I haven't said thank you yet. So, if Downfall of Us All is setting the tone for Homesick, then what exactly does Brick Wall set? A expectation that you're gonna hear them doing things on this album that you necessarily never thought they would do, nor never really wanted them to. You can't help but to feel the lingering effects of the Imagine Dragons era of making big, electronic, larger than life songs that sound more produced than they do played, with melodies that would feel at home on like a lesser Blink-182 song. We're heading for the brick wall. This cycle is a curse. Divine intervention can't get much worse. Capturing the anger that is stewing in 2021. You're really capturing the mood of the year. They come in like a brick wall and hit you right in the face, where it sounds like Jeremy singing, it sounds vaguely like A Day to Remember, almost as if they're doing a parody rock band. Is this sincere? Is this album potentially a motherfucker of them all? Was that Green Day album? Who cares? But then why would they sign with Fueled by Ramen? If they didn't want to be with Fueled by Ramen, why would they sign with Fueled by Ramen? If you're up, I'm down. If it's wet, I'll drown. You can fill your cup, and I'm always gonna pour it out. You're hot and you're cold. You're yes and you're no. You're up and you're down. You're in and you're out. I know that I'm falling into the trap. Pessimism is a killer, and I am guilty of spreading pessimism. So I'm gonna attempt to be more positive. I'm gonna attempt to take this album in as what they're intending. It's just that the intent so far does not feel genuine. We cannot deny that The Downfall of Us All is just a great opening track. The do-do-do-do-do's, as silly as they may be, are a great opening track. My Life for Hire really sets a different tone. It keeps the momentum going from The Downfall of Us All, but does it in a different way. This one feels a little more personal. Someone give me a sign that everything's going as planned, and then everything falls away into darkness of the shallow place. The shallow place that we live in. Are they talking about the music scene itself? Are they talking about like a show? If you're kicking, you're screaming, you're trying to survive in the music scene. They told me how I should be, but I broke the mold somehow. He is a singer, and they told him how to play, how to perform, but he's saying, no, I'm gonna do this my way. I'm gonna be my own person. You keep trying to resolve the past right now, but I swear I'll be the one to let the world know what you've done to me. A little bit of bitchiness, a little bit of slyness. If you wrong me, if you put me down, if you mess with my friends, we're gonna tell the entire world we have a stage, we have a platform, and you are a bad person. We invited her to the show. Terrible person. Everybody point at her and call her out. You're nothing to me, and everyone can see you're a lie. There's nowhere left to hide. Is this an opposing band? Just anyone putting you down, anyone in power that tells you you're not doing the right thing, you'll never make it as a creative. Jeremy says, no, this is a battleground. Like the production on this album a whole lot. It's heavy without feeling too digitized. The instruments still sound like real instruments. It's not overly aggressive. It's not. Everything is extremely tight in the song and gives it a very clean, well-rehearsed appearance to it that works really well. My Life for Hire, solid second tracking. It's really hard to pinpoint what's happening on this album. This one feels very similar to a Fall Out Boy song with the clapping in the background. It starts out fine. I like the first verse. It sounds like A Day to Remember. It sounds like a song they would play. But then the chorus hits and it turns into like a country-esque, boring-ass rock chorus. I don't understand. I know they're talking about philosophical ideas that not one single person could possibly understand, and how trying to tell someone what they think, what they say, always being on the internet. He could head to Japan on a mountain with some ancient man, just some ancient man. He doesn't even need to be Japanese. I could just find an old fucking man somewhere. We head to a mountain searching for wisdom, and I still won't understand. Either be about the haters, or it could be about a relationship he's in. You never know about Jeremy's lyrics. They always can be read on those two levels. I can't tell you what I don't know. I am no mind reader myself, so I cannot read your intentions when it comes to these songs. This is a lot better than Brick Wall, but that chorus honestly kills any enthusiasm I have for the song. And My Life for Hire just has such a good hook when it goes into the chorus. I think it works really well flowing from the downfall of us all, but that's me personally. I'm made of wax, Larry. What are you made of? If you don't remember, a quote taken from Night at the Museum, the most punk and or metal movie to come out at the time, starring one Ben Stiller as a night security guard, and at night it comes to life. And one of the alive things to come is Robin Williams as Theodore Roosevelt, our very good and very cool president that didn't try and start a war with Mexico. In Ben Stiller's darkest moments, he gives him this advice. I'm made of wax, Larry. What are you made out of? You're made out of flesh and bone. You gotta live. You gotta be a man. You gotta take life by control. Does that have any reflection on the song itself? I don't know. Maybe they just thought it was a cute and catchy song title. But the hook to this one always comes in fast and heavy, especially for song number 3. And at 3 minutes long, it does not let up. And it's like another one of like, who are you? I don't even fucking know your name. Don't blink. They won't even miss you at all. They won't even know you're gone. I got you like a puppet in the palm of my hand, baby. It's just one of those pump up songs when you see them live and they go into it. You're like, I know what this one is. I'm ready to sing it. I don't know what's gonna happen on this album. I never made it this far. And this is uncharted territory for A Day to Remember, because I can't remember them ever making a acoustic Spanish sounding chorus. It sounds almost like a Rob Thomas song. I don't know, something you would hear in the late 90s or early 2000s. And obviously they don't really know what to do with it either, because it just switches up willy-nilly whenever they need it to. Whenever they go in the chorus, well, we have to go big. We have to make it, oh, woes, or who is gonna sing to it? I never want to kill a vibe. I think I'm still being a little too pessimistic. I'm being a little too hard on this album. When I wake up, the cross above my bed hangs like a question mark above my head. He's questioning his faith. Oh, Jeremy sleeps underneath a big cross? Why does he have a cross above his bed? Are they religious? Have they been a religious band this entire time? Leave me alone. I'm not having it anymore. Not like how we try to suck the blood out of every fan we've ever had. Buy our merch, buy our special editions, buy our exclusive touring VIP packages. I know that it's probably insulting and tired to hear that they sold out, that they're not being genuine. But when you hear this album, when you listen to these songs and you haven't really moved on from the mentality that they had back in 2009, you have to question, what are we doing, guys? When we're just mimicking the stylings of whatever's popular at the time, then what is the takeaway supposed to be? That being said, I do have a curiosity and a love for cringe. Some of my favorite songs are songs that I don't like whatsoever. To be fair, to be balanced, I Made a Wax Larry is a fine song, but it repeats a little too much, and that music video pisses me off with the rock star branded cheerleaders. I am gonna add Bloodsucker, a decision that I don't expect anyone to understand or agree with. Congratulations, you're welcome. You're welcomed onto the playlist. This is the life we show. This is the life I lead. They can never take this away from me. We're playing in Legion halls. We're being a band. We're doing what we can. And at least we put ourselves out there. So what do you have to say for yourself? Being a little petty, or maybe he's being the better guy. He's saying, hey, you may put us down. You may make fun of us. But at least we're being a band, we're being ourselves, and we're putting ourselves on the forefront. In high school, listening to all these songs felt like the most important thing you could sing about at the time. There's nothing more in this world that we wanted than to be a group of friends touring the world, playing shows, and singing with the songs that mean the most to us. It starts to get a little repetitive, and I wonder if there is anything more. I just feel like you gotta break it up. You gotta bring something more than just, this is what we're supposed to do. You can make the case for why you're a band, but at some point, you just have to play the music. You have to make the songs. They can be a simplistic band. They are playing pop punk music. It's about singing the softest, highest chorus you can with the heaviest, tough guy breakdown you possibly can. There's rarely anyone who does it as tightly with as much precision as this band. There's so much anger back that you can't help but feel the defensiveness. My point still stands, because in the year 2021, they're still telling people that they're bad friends. You're bad people. You didn't know me. You see right through me. Yeah. So don't pretend you're just another bad friend. I have the least problems with this one out of all the songs on You're Welcome. The screaming, though, it is not as clean, like a match to the fuel, destroying everything around you. They conjure up a lot of the same imagery. It feels like they may be pulling into their little bag of tricks, but the change of heaviness, making the song start out with so much screaming, does make you feel like, hey, maybe some of their old tendencies are still here. Maybe they haven't fully sanded off all the edges on the band. But then we get to the chorus, and the chorus, I don't even remember. I literally don't remember the chorus, and I just listened to it. Just a bad friend. Fuck it. And then they go into that breakdown. It's such a boring fucking breakdown. Fuck it! I've heard that shit 1,000 times before with the very light choral keyboard in the background. So a song, a kind of a hopeful song about let's have another banger year, let's do what we can. I don't know how many more opportunities You're Welcome is gonna get to even be considered for the playlist. So right now, I'm gonna cautiously take what I can get. And so far, we have 2 songs from Homesick and 2 songs from You're Welcome. I'm not sure if this will continue. I might be all out of chairability. Speaking of heavy songs out of nowhere, A Day to Remember, it seems, always feel like they have to put one just aggressively heavy songs on their albums in order to make you feel like, oh, they're a metal band. But then they still feel the necessary need to put in a catchy chorus, to put in a soft acoustic part with digital drums. When will we ever get what we deserve? This song has always hit me wrongly. I don't like Jeremy's screams, especially when they're the main component of the song. I think it's better when his screams are like punching in little additives, exclamation point at the end of a chorus. When it's the main feature, I feel like it's the least strong. No, I find his screaming applicable. I find that it works for the type of pop punk that they are making. Though the instrumentals do seem a little basic, especially when you have like August Burns Red, The Devil Wears Prada just absolutely destroying it in terms of instrumental work. A Day to Remember has always felt a little simplified compared to them, but what they have in return is a chorus that you can't help but want to sing. It just so happens that this chorus pushes my boundaries of sappiness, pushes my boundaries of tolerable woe is me. Either they're saying that the haters are calling us posers, they're telling us we don't deserve this platform, we're fucking sellouts, so when will we get what we deserve? Or are they saying that we're being true, we're doing the best we can, so when will it pay off? It seems like this song just exists to be the tough, emotional song, with an intro that doesn't need to be as fucking long as it is. That guitar riff, but I can listen to it without getting annoyed at its existence. Don't know if I'll be able to say the same for the next track. I don't know. I don't know. There's still a minute and a half left of the song, and all of this is wait till I get some fuck you money. It just goes on for a minute and a half saying the same thing. How much money do you need? How much money is fuck you money? I don't think A Day to Remember is hurting that much. I'm sure you got a little bit merchandising money. So I'm just a little curious why in 2021, during a global pandemic, why he felt this was a time. This was the year that I released my I Want Some Fuck You Money song. I sit and wait, counting the minutes just like yesterday. Oh, he's bored. He's a sad boy. Tracking my miracle. It must be running late. More religious imagery. This vague spiritualism is a new element that I'm not sure where it's coming from. He's done so much for the world. When will his miracle come? This song is so insulting on every single level that I do not understand the process in which it was made under. This would have been incredibly embarrassing if it was a TikTok song done by who knows out of their living room with 0 followers and no money at all. You got to release 7 full-length albums into the world. I'm personally a little jealous, and that's why I'm bitter. So both of these cover similar territory. They're both annoying in their own right, but I think Mr. Highway is just vaguely sincere enough to pull through. Finally, a welcome change in pace. This song seems to actually be getting a little personal, though we're vague on what is happening in the world. What a world. It's so scary out there. I'll keep you safe with me. Just have a little faith in me. Because there's things in the streets I don't believe. I'm seeing injustices. I'm seeing hate. I'm seeing racism. I don't believe in it. So have faith in me, baby. We'll create our own world in here. I think that's a lot nicer than what we've been hearing from this vitriolic band, talking about all the very bad people, all the very bad women who betray them. It's nice to have one saying like, hey, come here. I know things are crazy. I know we're upset, but I just want to hold you. I think this is one of the best produced songs on here, and I think it's one of the most genuine songs they've ever written. Have Faith in Me is very, very high on my list of A Day to Remember songs. If Jeremy just wanted to make a solo album, if he just wanted to make his own personal album that shows off his many different musical stylings, his many different musical interests in rock, alternative, adult alternative, soft beachside songs, then he should have just made a solo album. I think the problem is calling this A Day to Remember. If this was just called Jeremy Jerkin Off for 14 songs, it would be one thing. But since this is a full-length A Day to Remember release, one has to take it in as A Day to Remember, and I think that's where the struggle comes. I appreciate changing, but when those changes, when that growth just feels like a lesser version, a lesser mimic of other artists, other bands that come before, then I don't know what your intentions are. And your welcome starts to feel insulting. Like, you're welcome. We fucking threw out an album. I hope you're happy with it. We finally got signed to a label. You're welcome. Now shut the wrote this to remind me the next time I'm freaking out to just take a minute. Life is good. Life is easy. We're taking it sweaty here on A Day to Remember's beach. Private beach. I'll take the more personal and genuine song about wanting to be close to the person you like most in this world, the person that makes you feel safe, the one person that you have faith in. This song is so unnecessarily aggressive. It feels like Mr. Highway Part 2, and it's another one about how, like, it won't be long until you're dead. No one's gonna fucking remember you, bro. You're nothing more than just a mean. You don't believe me. Your life's a contradiction. I don't believe everything you've known about me is gone forever. I won't forget the days we spent forever. It haunts me. Jeremy is a good guy. He's gonna remember the fond days. He can't let go of them. He's gonna remember you for what you were, but that's a contradiction of who you become. So who's the family? What family are you being welcomed into, or what family are they being welcomed into? They used to be family, they're not family anymore. Some of these songs on Homesick, definitely when you get into the backer half, do start to feel kind of like fillers. We have 3 minutes, let's just pound out something heavy with a vague chorus that you can sing along to. We can play it live if you want. It won't take up too much time. I'm gonna tell you right now, I already fucking hate this thing, but I'm gonna listen to a little more just to make sure. Is Jeremy known for having demons? Does he have a lot of demons inside of him? Has he struggled with addiction or whatever? I guess that's not really my place to know. I just wonder, since he hasn't really talked about that type of thing before. I also wanted to mention in one of the last songs that he made a mention to breaking away from someone's chains. It's kind of weird. Can I learn to love these chains? What are your chains, Jeremy? Is it your relationship? Because you can break up. Is it the band? Because you can break up. Is it your art, your career? You can learn to shake them off. If every day's the same, you're trapped in memory, stuck on replay, well, maybe get some therapy. Take a week off. Go on vacation. Just enjoy the world for a little while. Find your spark again. Oh, so resentment is a wildfire, and he needs that resentment in order to sing, in order to break up the monotony of the day to day. I got this chip on my shoulder, so I press the issues on sight. For all who need introduction, welcome to the Eye of the Tiger. So he's welcoming you to the band. This is the reintroduction. Like, hey, I have a chip on my shoulder, so I fucking call people out when I see shit, brah. I don't know why, but like his tough guy lines just get more and more lame the older they get. I really do enjoy them, but I can admit, when something that gave me so much hope, love, and life at 17, when it doesn't really quite hit the same, you know? So why Welcome to the Family is definitely not my favorite off of Homesick. I absolutely have to choose it, or whatever the fuck resentment is. Moving on. Homesick. This is what I would call the pinnacle of A Day to Remember's sappiness, of their songwriting. I think this is like the peak of how sweet and simple they can get while still being touching and a little bit genuine. Honestly, I think their Christmas song, Right Where You Want Me to Be, is the ultimate better version of Homesick. But the foundation of Homesick is really good. Lyrics that are actually relatable, not too intensely focused in Jeremy's mind. Right here, right now, this is the beginning of the end, and I won't sing a single thing until we can get this right. I'm not gonna put a song on our album that I don't believe in. I'm not gonna put anything in our music that I disagree with. This is the song, the titular Homesick for the album, and I think it is a good representation of it. It brings just enough humanity with him singing, "Why does this make me so nervous?" while also acknowledging that he's holding on to a fairy tale, trying to strive for some greatness, something bigger to them, and they're nervous about achieving it, about working for it. So as long as he writes songs trying to just ground himself in something, then he still has a place to go. Kind of just have to get past the cheesiness and embrace it, and I think it's actually a pretty good cut on the album. I'm so bored by this album. With all the bullshit they're doing to make it feel exciting, to make it feel big, epic, intense, with all that effort, it just feels boring. It's so overproduced in parts that you can't even make out the different instrumentals. And it's so just meandering in tone and energy that I lose interest in what's happening, especially when the lyrics, when the themes are this simplistic. We rode a wave up and down, throwing me all around, thinking we hit the ground. Well, you will. I know you. You're gonna fail. You person I'm talking to, you're gonna fail. Whatever enemy, you listener, listening to our song, being such a brave little music warrior in your room, you're gonna be okay. It's gonna be hell, but you're gonna be okay. I really just kinda wanna get this over with at this point. So this one seems to be about, they feel like they're empty when they come home. Every time they come home from a tour, less and less of them is left waiting for them. And he's trying to think of a time when he had a family. Though it's a little contradictory, since a lot of the songs are about the found family that they had created through A Day to Remember and the fan base. How this music, this brotherhood, this friendship can pick you up, make you stronger. My friends come first, but yet we're still longing for something to connect us to where we came from. Let it go, man. You gotta move on. We're right back to the it's been a tough year. It's slipping away, but we're gonna be okay. We're gonna make it better next year. I don't know what we're seeing in here that we haven't covered on Mr. Highway or Larry or Welcome to the Family. Just come on. This isn't what we plan on. Come on. Tell me we'll be okay. Tell me we're gonna be okay. Tell me we're doing this right. If I scream it, then it doesn't sound pathetic. I wish there's a little bit more to this song than how good it is to get fucked up in Mexico, but nope, this is what we're left with. A pandering song to all the Mexican listeners. Very big scene, keeping the scene alive down south. Viva la Mexico. I am a friend to the Spanish speaking people, so I understand the love for wanting to sing to them. A little weird that he doesn't speak any Spanish in this song or try to relate to them on their level, except for, hey Mexicans, you know how it is to party, right guys? I'm self-medicating with a dosage that's self-prescribed. Is he medicating with alcohol? Is that his medication? I don't know when Jeremy started taking on the rock star aesthetics. Like, I fucking drink. I'm drunk in an alley, baby. But hey, it was worth it because it was a hell of a party. It's a little fucking lame, and I have no reservations or ill feelings towards the people of Mexico. I don't like that I have to keep choosing these mediocre cuts off of Homesick, but You're Welcome is just so atrocious that I have no other option. Under a minute and a half comes You Already Know What You Are, which seems to be calling out the people who read music reviews and agree with what they say. Don't trust the critic. He's a cynic. Make the call for yourself. This is my 10-step course not to be like everyone else. You taking in professional critical reviews to inform your purchasing decisions? Forget that shit. Buy our album based on what we say and think for yourself. I know it's not the easy route, and I know it leaves you overflowing with doubt. You go, I don't know what to think. I guess I should just buy everything. I should just consume everything and make the decision for myself. And I don't want Jeremy to think that I am a sheep. You can't trust everyone you meet. They won't amount to anything. You should only trust the people that amount to things. You should only trust those who have reached some sort of point of authority. You clench fists, held above me. You will never bring me to my knees. A day to remember, standing up against music critics, standing up against music reviews. It was only money. Okay, so I guess Jeremy doesn't care about the fuck you money anymore, because what money he had was only money, and it means nothing now because his grandma has died. His grandma that they will watch The Sound of Music with. Trust me, my friends, I don't need the money. I don't need to prove myself. I learned about forgiveness, no matter what path lies ahead. What the I don't like being this angry. I don't like coming into an album so heated with so many opinionated thoughts out of my dumb little whore mouth. But I can't deny the contradiction that just spews out of every moment of this album. Am I supposed to feel sorry for him that he's choosing the money, that he wants this money, or am I supposed to be envious of him for what he was able to achieve? Or maybe saddened that he hasn't achieved everything he wanted to achieve? The soft acoustic guitars, the lovely melody, makes me feel like this is supposed to be an emotional song, but the emotions just don't feel grounded in anything real. But it doesn't mean the song is powerful. It doesn't mean the song has meaning or can grip you if it's not coming from a genuine place. I can sit down and write down the saddest things I've ever experienced, but if I don't have anything to say, if I don't have the music to contextualize it or represent the emotions properly, then it just ends up feeling empty. I keep having to choose these mediocre tracks that I fundamentally disagree with, but at a minute and a half, I think I can tolerate it a little more than the 3.5 minutes of only money. Let's check in on the playlist. I think I know how it's shaping up, but let's check in. So we have 4 songs left, and only 2 songs from You're Welcome have made it onto the album so far. Is this intentional? Do they mean to repurpose the theming? They literally have a song called Have Faith in Me. I can tell that you're the first one in a long time that's had some faith in me. Well, now I found a person with faith in me, a person who believes in me, that I can leave in Florida, so when I'm out on tour, I have a girl to come back to. I still know where I came from, but I thought you lost people for the money, for the fame, for whatever you needed. They keep playing songs on this radio, and I feel like I'm so alone on this 15-hour drive. That I'm not mentioning is in a giant tour bus with 6 or 7 of my closest friends and family. It's interesting that even in 2019, so much of the message and the persona behind A Day to Remember feels manufactured to generate certain feelings within the audience. It's very similar to what I was talking about with Skater Boy and Avril Lavigne. Though I like the chorus, I like the guitar work, I like how they sing it, I don't have an issue with anything in the song itself. It's just, I question what is the creative integrity of the band that is repurposing and reusing the same sort of structure and tone and literal fucking lines from songs that have come previous in the same album. I understand if you're doing a callback to a different album, I understand if you have a meta narrative running through, but when the songs seem disconnected and they are interchangeable, and that's all I'm here to do, is just question, not to give any answers, not to point any fingers. I'm just asking questions, baby. Right now we're back to his friends being degenerates. His friends never changing. They're liars, they're cheats, they're hypocrites. Not the type for saving. So they say, are you standing up for your friends? Character is who you are. Character is who you are when no one is watching. Do you agree that your friends are degenerates? Or could I sum you up just by what I see? Oh, you're saying there's more to me. There's more to my friends. We're not just punks. We're not just degenerates. How old is Jeremy? Jeremy is well into his 30s and all his friends are degenerates. Hey, I'm still a cool guy. I hang out with rough boys and we get into some trouble, but I would never judge you based on what I observe. I would judge you on the things you do when no one's around. But I get it, don't judge people. Jeremy famously has never judged anyone in any song. Oh, another song of the weekend. Another fucking song about being homesick of a home that you hate and you have no connection to.
If you can wait till I get home.
This song is the sappy acoustic A Day to Remember song. Of course, there's one on every album. The Price We Pay. What's the one off their first album? You Gave Me Butterflies at the Mailbox. This one is worth it just for the Sierra Custerback feature from Versa Emerge. Her voice is gorgeous. I can't help but feel like this is a manufactured song meant to be the heartstring one. Everyone's singing la, 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 la. This is the one where the band's gonna get off the stage. You think the show's over and Jeremy comes out with an acoustic guitar and you go, what's going on? What's gonna happen here? Are there more songs? Are we gonna get a little personal? And over the duration of the song, the entire band walks out on stage for that powerful last moment, that very powerful ending that picks the crowd up and gets them ready for 2 more songs in the encore. I swear we can make this last. If everyone goes la, if we all sing the same A Day to Remember song, we can save the world. It definitely made you cry at some point in high school. Permanent is not the worst track on this album. It has hints of old A Day to Remember without overproducing it to death, without adding in too much digital noise, though it is funny that we're still hitting the this is who I am when no one is watching. After we just talked about our degenerate friends and how you truly are who you are when no one is watching, he wants to reiterate on that fact that this is who I am when no one is watching. Flaws in my character, frozen by my options of people, of life, because I feel like you have a few more economical options than other people in this world, especially other people from your hometown, your home region of Florida. I won't touch a thing because failure's contagious. Safe from your judgment by staying complacent. Always rearranging. I can't commit. The future freaks me out. It's scary. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just running around in circles. It's like a cycle. Everything is permanent. Everything changes and stays the same, and it always is and will be and has been. But it's different. We can break this cycle. And I wish we knew how Jeremy actually felt about the world. I wish we got a little more insight about his ideas instead of always looking at who he is in terms of what other people are saying or what other people are, depending on what they're saying and how they're acting. I don't want the soft song. I don't like this one. I think out of the soft acoustic A Day to Remember songs, they have so many better. And out of the shitty songs from You're Welcome, this is the least offensive, the least atrocious, because it's the least produced, the least overly obnoxious. There's moments where the bass and the drums are completely drowning out all the other instruments. It sounds like crap, but it just sounds like the least amount of crap on this record. For that, I must place it on our playlist, bringing us to the final 2 entries.
Hey mom, I wrote you some soft songs. songs.
And I know I'm fudging it a little bit because there are 2 more tracks on You're Welcome than Homesick, but luckily A Day to Remember loves to put up those extended albums. Most of them are live tracks, but there are 2 acoustic tracks that will go to toe-to-toe with the final songs on You're Welcome. The first one being an acoustic version of Homesick that I feel works a lot better than the original version of Homesick. Sappy chorus works perfectly for the guitar strums, and I like how stripped down it is. I like that it is a single acoustic guitar song. I think it adds a nice bright bounce to the song. I'm not offended by it. Bro, shut the up. A 3-piece suit's like a 3-piece cage, the cubicle of our modern age, re-entering into the workforce, re-entering into the space, trying to be a normal person. I'm stuck in a cage in this workspace cubicle. I gotta be on the road. I gotta make music with my friends. It represents to me a lack of understanding, empathy, or even constructive criticism of anything outside of Jeremy's own experience. He's trying to make music that people can feel speaks to them personally, but the way he speaks about it is just so out of touch and weird, especially on an album with a song called Wait Till I Get Some F*** You Money. Isn't this a cage? Isn't the work employment life like a cage? Man, I just get that itch to go on the road. Don't you guys? Don't you guys get that itch to jump in? Don't you guys just get that itch to go into our multi-million-dollar studio and record a record? I know I get that itch when I'm working in the workforce. And he wants to go home, but that's the thing. There's no family at home. There's no one waiting for him at home. And then he gets that itch to go back on the road. Don't you see the struggles? I just think Homesick illustrates those struggles in a way that doesn't make me want to punch myself in the fucking face. Florida sun is begging me to come back home. Jeremy, do it. Acoustic version of a song we've already heard. The preferred version, if you ask me. I like that guitar riff. It sounds real nice and acoustic. No more thoughts. Let's end this.
'Cause I know I got you, and you know you got me.
I guess all those previous songs about how we're searching for more, how we're reaching for more, was all bullshit, because we have everything we need. Going 120 on the I-75, don't do that. He knows what he's got you, and you got him. It's an acoustic song, just like I fucking knew they would have to end on acoustic when we always end on the acoustic song, because regardless of how you felt about the music that came before, it's a touching moment to end on. Fuck me if I don't choose this one again. A song I didn't really want to choose the first time it came around, but it's acoustic, so why did I even bother listening to the final tracks on You're Welcome? You're not welcome. You're bad. A Day to Remember. That song was bad. This entire album is giving me very strong Slam It vibes. So I was a little uncharitable to A Day to Remember over the course of this video, but I do think I was being fair, and I managed to find 3 tolerable songs on You're Welcome. That's 3 out of 14 songs. I don't even like Homesick that much. I feel like Homesick loses itself a lot when we get to the ending. They start repeating a lot of themes. A lot of the songs start to sound the same, but I still prefer that production over anything they were doing on You're Welcome. I knew it was gonna be bad. I knew it was gonna be cringy. I just did not know how many traps they would fall into on a production level, on a lyrical level, on a thematic level, on just a choice of song level. It is incredibly embarrassing in moments, confusing in all the other ones, and then contradictory, meandering, and pandering on the best of moments. But when we come to Homesick, my feelings are a little more complicated. I have the nostalgia factor of it just being an album from my high school, from my childhood years. But given the scope of the music scene, how everything has changed, evolved, pushed itself since then, there is sort of a bare bones, rudimentary feeling to A Day to Remember. I just feel like when you start breaking it down on a song by song level, you come to find out that a lot of it is empty and a lot of it is just vague gesturing towards a bad person that may be in your life somewhere that you have anger towards. You don't listen to A Day to Remember because you're a happy kid, but they did give you a sense of belonging. They gave you a sense that the world was out to get you. Everyone was trying to put you down, but if you had a dream, if you had a goal, if you had some friends and a song to sing, then you could be something of yourself. In 2021, they proved all that to be wrong with You're Welcome. I don't know what this band is going to do from here. I don't know if they will continue on this trajectory trying to be a big mainstream rock band or if they're just going to kind of fizzle out. If you're a hardcore A Day to Remember fan, I'm sorry for shitting on them for an hour. Do you agree? Do you disagree with the song choices I made? Are there more songs on You're Welcome that I should give a better chance to? I don't think so, but tell me below, what two albums would you put against each other to go song by song? Stay swazzy, stay posy, try to listen to some good music. I know I'm failing on that front, and I will catch you next time.